All right, welcome back in to episode two of I don't know, Return to the Edge, whatever it is, Edge of Drafting Edge of Eternities. I'm Jesse. Welcome to the channel. If you haven't been here before, welcome. If you have been here before, thanks for coming. Make sure to like and subscribe, of course. And yeah, we're just gonna get right into it, drafting some Edge of Eternities. Yeah, what's not to like? Let's start confirm purchase and get into the queue. Yeah, so general overview of the of the channel is trying to get better at limited, try to teach people how to get better at limited, try to walk through my thought process on picks and gameplay because I think there's really a lot of edges that you can find. And surely I'll be wrong in some places, and if I punt or make a bad pick, be sure to tell me in the comments. I'm always looking to get some feedback, looking to get a little bit better. So first draft went well. If you didn't watch it, go check it out. Used a rareless Gruul Beats deck to some success. So yeah, let's get right into it. So started off, we got just keeping with my classic strategy of opening a planet as my rare. This is Sir Secundi Void Altar. I think this is a good card. I think these planets are good, but I do not think they're first pickable. So I think the opportunity cost to run these, I think, is quite low, so I think they're good to have in your deck. Running a tap land is really not that big of a deal, and the upside, especially when you're at parity, is quite high. For this one, I think I'm just going to go with Invasive Maneuvers. It's just a good removal spell. Deal 3 to target creature, deal 5 if you control a spacecraft. This effect is always playable and limited. It's always good, so I'm just going to take it here. I never dislike having a lot of removal spells, so we'll just start there. And we'll get past, there we go. Now this is what I'm talking about. This is this is actually kind of a cool pick for a number of reasons. So yeah, so we've got Tanuk, Memorial Ensign, doing the Gruul Landfall thing. We've got a second timeline color. I think we'll let another one of those pass. I'm interested in both of these two. The Ilvoy Infiltrator is very, very snowbally, right? If you cast 2 more spells, this can't be blocked. So then it deals combat damage. So then you draw cards. You're more likely to cast 2 spells next time, so you're more likely to draw another card. So it just kind of it goes on itself. But I really like this All Fate Stalker. I think it's a really awesome effect. You can warp it in for 2. It means you can cheese out some warp effects. You can also use it as a Skyclave Apparition effect itself to remove a creature. So I just think this card's very powerful. Not huge on white, but I think this card's very good. And quite frankly, I want to play with it. So we're going to take it here. All right. Okay, we've got more white and red being passed, so that is a good sign. The white card we have is the Honored Knight Captain. When this creature enters, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. Notably, works quite well with All Fate Stalker. If you warp this in, warp it on this guy, it'll just re-enter. We've got another 1/1. That's, I think, what I want to go with. I do like this Galvanizing Sawship. This is just a 6-mana 6/5 haste, basically, if you have 1 or 2 creatures on board, which is, very, very good. I think the problem with this is it's just not very good when you're behind. If you don't have any creatures on board, this is just a dead piece of cardboard. It doesn't take much to turn it on, but I think that's what we want. I do like the Dauntless Scrapbox as well. Would be good with the All Fate Stalker, but we'll start with the Honor Knight Captain for good 2-drop. All right, what else we got here? Okay, so not a ton of really interesting red and white creatures or picks per se, but I do want to shout out Needle Spires here. Now, this is not I think creature lands in limited are very good. It is worth noting that maybe this isn't first pickable, but we are in Boros right now, and this is just free value. We would already play a card that says tap, add red or white for an enters tapped. We would play any of those that we saw. This having the additional upside of being a 2/1 is just excellent. So we're just going to happily pick that here. All right, we've got more interesting picks here. So Litho Breaking, I will say this doesn't look to be a deck that really wants to play this. We have a bunch of 1/1s. This is a 2/3, so that's nice at least. This effect is reasonable to have. It makes a lander. Might have to sack it, but that's not so bad. I think what we'll probably just take here is this Brightspear Zealot. I think the best card in the pack is probably the Selfcraft Mechan. And in fact, maybe it's best that we take this just as going for more upside, because I don't know that this, I think this is pretty replacement. I think this is a pretty good card. So we'll spec on blue here and see if there's some blue-red artifact things to be doing. Okay, right on schedule. We got a Night Luminary. Here is kind of a wombo combo. You warp in the Night Luminary, and then you warp in the All Fate Stalker, targeting the Night Luminary. You end up pulling this back out. You've still gotten your 1/1 from the warp, and then when All Fate Stalker leaves the battlefield, this comes back in. You get another 1/1, and you get this creature normal, no warp, no nothing. So as many warp things as we can get with the All Fate Stalker. I think there was that 9-mana 9/9, which I don't think is quite worth playing, but would be kind of cool to do the thing with this. And now we just have another Night Luminary. I'm more than happy to take that. Keep building around, kind of doing crazy warp stuff. This is definitely in a kind of a white go wide strategy, so we'll want to pick stuff that is good for that. Right now, I think our red is better than our blue. This is not really an artifact deck right now, but we'll be on the lookout for stuff. Oh, and this is a great sign. I think this is just a banger common. Auxiliary Boosters is 5 mana, make a 2/2 and attach this to it to give +1/+2 and gains flying. If you remember from Final Fantasy, the Dragoon's Lance, which is a flight giver for 3 mana, ETV, make a token creature, was very good. Now, granted, that was a 2 mana creature, which is much better, but this is still a very solid creature, and one that I think we'll want to take here. Okay, now we've got Focus Fire, which I'm more than happy to. It's a bummer that this says attacking or blocking, but you really can't ask for more for 1 mana. This appears to be a deck that wants to go wide in white, so deal X damage to target attacking or blocking creature, where X is, X is 2 plus the number of creatures and or spacecraft you control. So this will kill just about anything we want to kill with it. Here, mostly filler. I think the best card is probably Mechan Shieldmate, but they're all kind of OP, so I think we just take the blue. Keep passing green and black. That's totally fine. Yeah, nothing really going on here. That's good. I think that's a reasonable card, so we'll take it. Rig for War is a combat trick we probably don't want to play, but yeah, okay. So now what do we have? We've got kind of an interesting choice here. We have, so right now we know we're in white. Our real only red card is Invasive Maneuvers, and we're kind of in a white go wide thing. I wonder if Diadrene Synthesis Amalgam isn't the right pick here, and try to kind of go into a green-white weenies type of world. Dubious Delicacy is also very good, but we weren't really noticing a ton of black being passed. Vote Out is good, though I think just worse than Gravkill. Depressurize also good, kind of a banger pack, honestly. I think we spec on this. I think we're firmly not in blue. We did see that pull through the weft, which isn't uncommon in green. I don't think it's especially good. But I think any of the white and red stuff is pretty replacement level here, so I don't mind going after this as a potential card to take. And now we have a very interesting pack. Seam Rip, I think more constructed card, but still playable. Glacier Godmaw is just very good. This will just end the game. We have another Night Luminary. Probably don't need a third right now. Seed Chip Agrarian, I think, is very solid. Just really snowballs hard. The play pattern of tap this to make a lander and then hold up the ability to put a 1/1 counter on is quite good. But I think we just want Galactic Wayfarer here and kind of start to go towards a green-white world. Just because that seems to be the stuff we're getting. Siege of Agrarian is so good, though. Nope. Sticking with it. Galactic Wayfarer. I just really like that card in general. Okay, so now we've got more stuff here. We have the Weftblade Enhancer. This is another warp card, so we should keep our eye out for those just because they go so well with All Fate Stalker. Another Focus Fire, which I think is good. Bioengineered Future, pretty mopey. Not what we want to do. Gene Pollinator is very good as a 1-mana accelerant. I think we just take another Focus Fire here, though, and maybe see if we can get one of these coming back to us. I think white seems relatively open. I think I like the idea of trying to get a Focus Fire on the just to keep getting the removal count high. Okay. Well, if we're doing the 1/1 counter thing, which uh, we certainly could do with Diadrine, Meltstrider Eulogist is quite good. Whenever a creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it dies, draw a card. That is just very powerful. Just kind of, you can imagine the process of kind of keeping the train rolling. We'll have to find more ways to put 1/1 counters on things, but I don't think we'll be able, or I don't think we'll have a hard time prioritizing those. There's another planet. This might be a time to. I just don't think that. I don't think the Gaia's Cradle ability is really worth all that. Oh, did I just take it? Oh, well, that's a bummer. Okay. Well, okay. So much for calling out other cards. I guess we'll play it still, but it's not really what we were wanting here. But we did get another Diadrine, so that's cool. This is just a very good card. Dockworker Drone, we'd love to add to this deck, but no dice here, so I think we'll just take another rare. And now we're kind of out of green and white options, which makes me think we're kind of too far gone at this point to really go back now. Tricky. I think I'll just take Command Bridge. I don't think I necessarily want to play it, but I do think it is good enough. Okay, Weft Blade Enhancer is good for doing the 1/1 counter thing. Now I'm all worried that I'm gonna keep having issues with my picks. Okay, let's go this version now so I can start to see where my curve looks. I think Radiant Strike is just a pretty good removal spell. Destroy target artifact or tap creature. 3. We have a lot of conditional removal spell, which is a little bit tricky in this instance, but still I think worth playing. Exosuit Savior. This is just a powerful effect to rebuy ETB effects, so I think we go here. There's another Auxiliary Boosters, but I like keeping the curve lower if possible between two cards I think are both good. Okay, Seam Rip or Night Luminary. I think we just take another Night Luminary. I'm just perfectly happy with these cards. Tenderfoot's good, doing the 1/1 counter thing. Shattered Wings, more of a sideboard card, but then Meltstrider Gear, a nothing card. Oh, heck yeah, that is a banger. Looming Class Frigate is just an awesome card. This is exactly what we would want to see. We're already doing the go wide thing. 2 mana, put basically any amount of power into it, and you get a full Anthem effect, and those effects just always play pretty well. And then if you put 12 in, which sounds high, but remember, all of your creatures get +1/+1. This gets to be a 3/5 lifelinker. So really, really good card. We would love to see the Night Captain come back, the Dockworker Drone come back, or the Galactic Wayfarer come back, but we're more than happy to get this out of that pack. Okay. Here is not a pack that we really care to see. I think we already have a lot of 4s. It's worth noting. This Night Luminary can be played at 2, but functionally is really a 4-drop. So this is kind of a tough one, but we are going to go wide. We are going to get the +1/+1 counter thing going, hopefully. So I think this is just a good card for what we're doing. Wormwall Sweeper, another call out. I think this is just pretty good in a more aggressive strategy that cares about artifacts. We don't necessarily care about artifacts, but we'll take that here. Ooh, okay, we've got another Breacher, probably not. I think Honor is just the card here. I mean, there's just never an instance where you're not you're always gonna have moments where you have 1 mana left over, and I think this is a good time to take advantage of taking a card like this. It puts a 1/1 counter on a thing, which is great with Diadrine. Draw a card, so you're just hand-tripping and kind of feeding into the play. Humidian Terrabotanist, if you watch my last video, you know I like this card. Another Dauntless Scrapbot, which someday I'm sure I'll pick, but not today. And, okay, cool. This is, I think, basically the perfect top-end card for us. Atmospheric Greenhouse, when this enters, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. So if we're going wide like we think we are, this is just a good way to, put a huge amount of power on board. And then it also becomes a 5/4 Flampler over time, and we're kind of needing some stuff to do late in the game. So that's exactly what we're looking for. Glacier Godmaw. Now, we're not necessarily ramping a ton, but we are a kind of go wide and swarm deck, and I think that when this card enters, if it lives and is able to swing, you're just going to win. Or even better, if you can play this on 8 mana, so you have 7, then play a land, so you can immediately trigger the creatures you control gain +1/+1 and gain vigilance and haste on the turn. You're just going to be so far ahead. We cannot stop opening Bioengineered Future. Do not think that card is very good. Don't put it in your deck. Virulent Silencer, another card that I don't think is very good. Don't put it in your deck. You just need so many artifact creatures to make that happen, and the payoff is that you just wait for this to get killed. I think we'll take a Fungal Colossus that we're not going to play and be sad about it. Okay, well, this is not a good card. You should not put it in your deck. It is kind of a fun card, though. We are kind of lacking 3 drops here. I think but maybe the Starport security is just better. We are doing the +1 counter thing a bit, so that ability is pretty good. Getting on board early is better. We saw in the last video that the Thawbringer was up. You know what? I'm actually going to take the Thawbringer because I do still think it's better to fill out the 3 mana world than it is the 1 mana world in this deck. How many times are we going to be casting 2 spells? And this is still just a 2/4 vigilance. I think this is probably the play. I don't really care about the Sky Seeker at all. Nice, that's a nice hit back. Honor Knight Captain, just another 1/1 make a 1/1. We don't have any equipment, do we? No, I don't think so. So that last ability is not going to be very relevant, but you can imagine. Well, we have the opportunity to take a Bygone Colossus if we want it, but with only 1 All Fate Stalker, I don't think this is worth taking. I'll just take the Sweeper, which I think is pretty good. Like Deck Coordinator, beginning of your end step, if you control 2 more tap creatures, you gain 2 life. We're going to be maybe a little bit more of a beatdown deck, a go wide deck, so that life gain I think would be relevant. I'd cut the Thawbringer for that. And then a couple of other stuff. Okay, so there's the deck. We're going to have to cut some cards here. We did, unfortunately, miss out on... I can't remember what the card was. But we missed out on 1 card for Evendo. Needle Spire is probably not splashing for it. Command Bridge, I don't think we're playing. Let's just get everything out of here. Okay, so we need to make 3 cuts. I don't think this is a 16 land deck, just because we do have some stuff big that we want to get to. I don't think this is a Fungal Colossus deck, though. I mean, I guess we could, in theory, play the Command Bridge and the Evendo and have 4, and that makes this then a 3 mana 5/5. I don't know. I think we'll have plenty to do with our mana. I don't know that we'll want the cut to tempo that the Command Bridge will do, and we don't have any extra benefits from tapping our creatures. You don't make a lot of lander tokens. We do go wide, so we do have tokens that we can tap, but I don't know. This one seems like it's just going to be unnecessarily slow with a deck that has a lot of kind of 2 mana plays that we can roll with. So we are going to play Evendo, but I think we can get rid of Fungal Colossus. Weft Blade Enhancer is good. Glacier Godmaw is good. Greenhouse is good. Boosters is good. I think our high end is very solid. I'm not so worried about having all of this 4-drop equity, just because this Night Luminary can be played here, and the Diadream can kind of be played wherever. So they're just kind of a generic curve filler. Thawbringer, it is a good beatdown card. I experienced the last time I played it. I much prefer, I think, the Wary Thespian 2 mana version of this, which is the 2 mana ETB or Die Surveil one, just because that one is a much nicer spot on the curve. If it comes down on turn 2 and they don't have a 2 mana play, then you're beating down for a turn earlier. And this just ends up trading with a lot with creatures that are smaller than it, which is not generally what you want. So I think you can get rid of that, or we can get rid of that rather. And then I don't know how much the Wormwall Sweeper is doing here, although we do kind of lack a lot of 2 mana plays. We have a lot of Night Luminaries to deal with. I don't know necessarily what this wants. Glacier Godmaw is hugely expensive, but it's just a really good effect. I think a really strong card, so I don't really want to cut it. And we lack some top end anyway. We lack a little bit of removal, unfortunately. We have Radiant Strike, All Fate Stalker, and Focus Fire. So given that, it's possible that we want to make sure we're fast. Maybe cutting one Night Luminary is good here. Just because ultimately warping this in for a 1/1 is not really where we want to be. We'd much prefer to be playing our other 2-drops, even the Sweeper, I think, for the hand smoothing effect and the pressure in the air. So I think that's probably a reasonable cut, and that does cut down on our 4-drop issue a little bit. So I suppose I could have done this whole thing. Oops, come on. What are we doing here? T? CR, am I crazy? Yeah, there we go. Okay. This kind of can be here. We're kind of lacking 2-mana stuff to do. Maybe we're going to be playing Diadrine on turn 2 a little bit more, but that's still perfectly fine. In that case, it'd be a 2-mana 2/3. So we're probably not going to be triggering this a ton, but I think if we can get 1 or 2 triggers off of this, it's just very, very solid. You functionally don't lose any power. You lose attacking power, which is a bummer, but you get it back as a 2/2 robot. So if you have safe attacks, this is just very, very good. So, all right. I like this deck. I think it's going to be... Wait, must have 40 cards. Yeah, no, I suppose we do want to play with lands. That's a really good point, Arena. Let's suggest lands, and then let's add in... Where's my Avendo? Am I crazy? Where did my Avendo go? Oops. Get out of here. Oh, because I was sorting for creatures. Avendo's here. Why would that decrease? Why would that change how many planes and although I am quite heavy on white actually. Is this a 10 planes deck? The double Glacier GODMAW is maybe makes it a 10 planer, but we don't really have any intense white mana requirements, so we don't have any like double white pips. So I think we can pretty safely go 9 here. All right, that's the deck. Are we playing Command Bridge? No, I don't think we can play Command Bridge. If we have mana issues, maybe we can consider that. But I think this is playable. Let's get into the queue while we're waiting. Again, thanks for watching. If you want to hit that like and subscribe, say the stream thing. I think that would really help. We definitely got a little bit of people watching the last video, so that was cool. I think because people were hitting the buttons, doing all that. But here we go. Let's hope for winning the die roll. We did not, but looks like a plenty playable hand. We got Honored Knight Captain, Lumen Class Frigate, good stuff. We will keep this hand. We are looking for lands, of course, but we're on the draw. We've got a lot of draws to get there, so I'm not too concerned. I would love to not see a Gene Pollinator here, though. Okay, nothing. They had priority, so that's interesting. So they didn't play something on 1, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But okay, now this is kind of a tricky one. I think we just play a Plains and Honored Knight Captain, and then we wait to play the Avendo. And then, just because we still have a lot we can do on turn 3 here with the Tenderfoot, not the Tenderfoot, but the Frigate, we can immediately station it up and get the Anthem effect ripping. And then under those circumstances, ooh, okay, use Social Engineering, make a 2/2, sure, yeah, it's fine. And then Halaya gain 1 life. They could have, no, they could not have sequenced that any differently, I suppose, to get both. But either way, that was not a hugely impactful turn. Let's just go ahead and play Avendo, and then let's just get the Frigate going, and then station it up. Unfortunately, it's not 2 power until after it gets fully stationed, and now I got 2 2s. Huge. I'll take that. Now, that use Social Engineering is quite a good card against us. I wonder if, because we're lacking a little bit of removal, if that Shattered Wings, the Broken Wings variant, isn't worth running as a one of in the deck. All right, Halaya. Sure. Would like to get rid of that, ideally. And we're going to miss our land drop, which is a bummer. So maybe what I will do here is just... I'm going to swing... I'll swing with both, and I'll pop the Halaya, because also the life gain will get pretty annoying pretty fast here. So I'm going to swing with both to see if I can focus fire it, and then depending on what they do, I can do other stuff later. I can kill it on their turn. I can just play a sweeper. I'm gonna do whatever. So we'll do that. Swing for 2, or swing for 4, I should say. Yeah, that's a very sketchy attack, so I can see why they wouldn't want to do that. And then maybe I'll actually just play the flight deck coordinator here. I'm still happy to trade. Well, actually, it wouldn't even be a trade. It's a 4/4, and then I'll gain the 2 life. I think I like that more than finding the lands. I still have lots I can do, even on 3 lands. So it is important that we find our 4th land, but I think I can wait 1 turn here. So yeah, the 2 life here is hopefully useful too. The nice thing too is we do have this card to help us pay off some of the Evendo. Or we have this card, and to enable this card, we can use Evendo to station up our stuff, and then we also have the frigate. Now it doesn't matter anymore because they just popped it with Halaya, but that's how it happens sometimes. All right, True Land. That is awesome. So what we are going to do then is play our land, and I think we just swing here again. And we do the same thing. If they want to block, they can block. If they don't want to, that's fine. And now here, I think we just play out a... Ooh, I don't really want to keep taking 5. Going down to 9 seems kind of tough. So I think what I'll do instead is play out this Night Luminary. Go a little wider. Because then next turn, we have, if we draw a land, we have Focus Fire plus Luxonite Breacher, which this becomes enormous, and we can actually probably get pretty darn close to crewing up the Lumen class frigate. Or we still have Tenderfoot and Sweeper, Tenderfoot and Focus Fire. We've got some options. We're just going very wide. And I'll happily trade this card for Halaya under all circumstances. So, waiting for what they do. I don't mind them using that Diplomatic Relations on the flight deck coordinator. One of the benefits of going as wide as this deck seems to want to is that single target removal does get a little bit worse. Okay, they are just going to plunge. That is kind of a bummer, but it's okay ultimately. Not going to block that, of course. And we'll go to 11. Alright, land is good. So what we're going to do is play a land. And I think we're going to Luxonite Breacher first. And then I think we can just swing here. Yeah, because I'm kind of tired of the 2/2 there. They may not even care about trading, but yeah, okay. That's fine. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop 7 power into the Lumen class frigate, because now we are very near to turning on a 3/5 flying lifelinker, which is just going to be very relevant. So if Halaya swings here, we're obviously happy to focus fire it. We're basically focus firing anything that we can at this point. They're still stuck on 4, which I don't know. I don't know what's in their hand, of course. Although I suppose I could have noted this. They're splashing for Orbital Plunge. Seems very strange, because it seems like their main colors are green and white, although maybe they have a handful of red cards, and they played 2 planes because of their Landers tokens for Halaya. That wouldn't be too shocking, I guess. I don't think Halaya is probably worth splashing for, but I guess I don't know their deck. mean, it's a good effect. It'd be a great effect in our deck, of course. We would love to have Halaya with how wide we go, but in their deck it doesn't seem amazing. They gonna swing? No. Okay. Well, that's a little strange. Here I think they just have one mana of any color, so they could have the shock variant at sorcery, plasma bolt at sorcery speed. I don't know what they can really have here, so I think what I'm gonna do is just gonna station up my frigate and go to slam down with the breacher and the frigate. And if they want to try to do something goofy with the breacher, wait, is that? Oh, okay, they're just letting it go. Fine, yeah, that's we're more than happy for that. So now we can just go. Maybe what I could have done in hindsight is done the greenhouse and just swung away. But I think instead what we'll do is we'll play the Tenderfoot and then the Sweeper, try to get some surveil value, see what we can throw away. Yeah, we don't want that. We definitely want you. And now we look to try to win the turn next game. Or next, they have a lot of lethal threats they got to deal with. They have to deal with the 3/5 flyer. They have to deal with how wide we're going. They just tap out to play you social engineering. They're just putting themselves dead on board, which fine by me. We are in gold. Season reset pretty recently, so we're still climbing up to the adult ranks, but we're pretty close to platinum, where we should be playing some better opponents. Auxiliary Boosters is a card for sure. It gains flying, so that is reasonable. Now we can't. Do we have lethal on board now? I think we still have lethal on board, and now we definitely will when I make them sad with this. So I'll Fate Stalker, I'll just pop the token so that we never lose it, and yeah, good game. Yeah, that went pretty smoothly. You can see the power of that frigate. Just the fact that we continued to go wide and made all of our. We essentially made the card that we the 2 mana 1/1 make a 1/1. We basically turned that card into a 2 mana 2/2 make a 2/2, which is just way above rate. So very happy about that. Got our first win. Not getting skunked. We'll move on to the next one. Didn't see Diadrine, although we didn't have a ton of +1/+1 counter stuff going on that time. It was mostly the Anthem effect. However, it's worth noting that with Diadrine, we don't necessarily need the 1/1 counters. Okay, well this is unfortunately not a keepable hand. 3 forests, and oh my gosh. Okay, gonna go to 5, I guess. And just keep 5. Okay, I think we pitch a land, unfortunately, and maybe the Weftblade Enhancer, although that plus Diadrine is probably how we get back in the game. Going on a Mold of 5 sucks. I don't know what we get rid of here. It's a good hand. All Fate Stalker is very good. I don't know how many shuffle effects we have, which is tough also. And I'm kind of hesitant to get rid of removal here. So maybe it's just the Stalker, get rid of a 4 mana play, and then a land, which we're going to need to draw anyway. And then we'll just have Diadrine on 2, make it a 2/3, and hopefully stop drawing 4-drops. Pay 0 for X. And if we get a... Now, this is kind of a nice synergy. If we draw a land here, what we can do is we can warp in the Dockworker drones that we definitely wish we could add. Okay, well, we're just going to swing. Well, if we had drawn a land, what would have been nice is we could have warped in the Weftblade Enhancer, put a counter on Diadrine and on the Weftblade Enhancer, and then swung with Diadrine, remove the counter from, or remove the 2 counters that we had, make a 2/2 and draw a card. Can't do that now, but you can imagine that would have been kind of nice to be able to do that. If they swing, I think I'm happy. No, I'm not happy with getting rid of that just yet. This sucks a lot. This is what happens on a mull to 5, though. So sometimes there's not a lot you can do about it. This is a good moment to remember also that this is just a thing that happens sometimes, right? Like, this is not a skill issue on either of our parts. And in fact, if we're being realistic about it, our opponent has 3 planes out. It's entirely possible that they actually do not have correct mana right now also. And it seems, are also missing land drops. So it's a good thing to remember that, yes, we are getting a little unlucky here. We've had a lot of draw steps to find a land, and we haven't found one, but it's a game of variance, and sometimes you just get hit with variance. That happens. It's not necessarily a... sometimes it is important to look and see, is there a... Okay, we're definitely trying to kill that now. So we're just going to... Okay. Trying to figure out a way that we kill that while also being able to do stuff. I really don't want them to draw a card off of it. But I don't really know that we can get around that. So I think what I'll do is I'll just do this. Put the 1/1 counters here and here. No attacks. And unfortunately, I think next turn is where we're going to need to hope to be able to focus fire something. Yep, there's their mountain. So you can see we are getting mana screwed a little bit. But they were also experiencing some mana issues. I would take theirs over ours, but you know, it's important to note the games that you are also being a beneficiary of good luck. In game 1, for instance, our opponent was stuck on 4 lands. Perhaps there was a deck building consideration there, in that they weren't making for an especially good, or making for good decisions on the land side. This is interesting attack. I think we'll just happily do that, though. Trade our 2 mana thing for their 4 mana thing. We played into Focus Fire a little bit, which would have been a bummer. So the question is, can we afford to play this out as a naked 3 mana 2/2? I think or can we afford not doing that? I think we just kind of have to. Oh, actually, we can do this. And then we can play a plains, and then when they swing, we can hit them with a focus fire. So, good thing to remember that you can pick up lands with this. So it's kind of like we hit a land drop, and we're just getting mauled right now, unfortunately. And now we can no longer even kill the Memorial Team Leader, which is a major bummer. So we're pretty likely... okay, we can't. The downside of this, too, is we're getting a 1/1 counter back on this. We're not even really gaining that much life, but I think we just gotta do what we can here. Station is 6 on this, and it's a 4/3 flyer. Oh, that's just cruel. Okay, well, not much of a game there. But, GG opponent, ran into some issues. Happens. Can't win them all. We are running 17, right, because you're running 9. Let me just confirm that, I suppose, given that we went so many draw steps without drawing a land. We're also on a mull to 5, right? So, like, there's only so much you can really do in those instances. Let's see. 9. Yep. We're on 17. So, nothing to do about that. Go on to the next one. Try not to get too tilted. And in that case, too, we also made the decision to pitch a land. I think I still stand by that being the right move, because in order to win that game, we were going to need to draw a couple lands. And I think keeping action in our hand was a good way to do that, but I could also see an argument that pitching 2 spells was better. Keeping, like, removal and the 2-drop, and just saying, you know, we'll draw what we draw, but at least we're going to get to 3 mana. That might be better. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe you can let me know in the comments what you would have done there. But we're playing Clan Prozac now. All right, this looks like a great hand. We've got our 2 of our best cards, the Wayfarer. We've got a Savior to retrigger some ETBs, Honor to draw some cards. I think this is a banger of a hand. Or a banger of a hand. And now we can do the same thing as last time with the Honored Knight Captain, and we'll be able to, you know, all goes to plan. Okay, Hilderblade. I'm not a huge fan of that. Looks like that was their draw this turn. We'll play the Knight Captain. Okay, one. And, oh, actually, I will just start station this up. Heck yeah, forgot I could do that. See if they have any haste creatures. I don't think Dimir Control is necessarily known for that. Alright, we've got a Comet Crawler. Whenever this attacks, we sack another creature artifact. If you do this, the creature gets +2. Okay, interesting. It's kind of a cool card. Here, we're on 3 mana. I think I've got a mind to just play out the Galactic Wayfarer. So we have something that blocks the Comet Crawler. Make a lander, and then might as well, I'm not blocking with them, so might as well just station it up and see if we can get closer to Gaia's Cradle. I don't think I kind of cut myself off by not picking the correct card when we took this. I don't think the point of this is that a Gaia's Cradle is not a powerful effect. Of course it is, but at the point where you get 12 station counters on this, it's just very unlikely that you're going to be in a position where you couldn't just pay for the thing on your own. So, okay, we're again having some real issues here. I think what I'll start by doing is this is adding a 1/1 counter to the Wayfarer is not necessarily doing anything for us because it's going to trade with either. It's going to pretty happily trade with either of these regardless of what happens. So I think what I want to do here is put the 1/1 on the token. See if we can draw a land. We did. Amazing. And then I want to be mana efficient here. I think I will go with I'm going to go with Diadrene, because now what we can do is we can attack with the Galactic Wayfarer, trigger Diadrene, draw a card, make a 2/2. Not really lose out anything. So I'm going to play X = 1. This will come down as a 3/4, right? Yep. And then I will swing with the Galactic Wayfarer, take a counter off of each of them, and make a 2/2. Nice. And then we drew a land. That's awesome in this position. I'm happy to trade this with the Blade of the Swarm. This is a 3/3 that I already got my ETB out of. That's a 5/3 that's just kind of vanilla at this point. I don't know that I want to pump more power into a Vendo. Probably could. It's probably worthwhile at this point, actually. If we can power out a Glacier GODMAW, actually, let's see, how much power do we need? So we could Star Reach Whale. That's a problem. We're gonna have to deal with that. But let's just see what we can do here. So next turn, play Lumen Class Frigate. Put 2 power into it. Okay, what are we gonna do? Sack the Hilderblade. Okay, this seems like a very bad attack for them. I'm more than happy to give them or trade my 2/2 for their 2/3 lifelink. Oh, they want to trigger the Hilderblade? Okay, that's maybe defensible. Alright, so let's see what we can... Okay, I want to start by playing the Lumen Class Frigate. And I will play a Forest. How much? They have 11 power on board. Play a Forest. We can get this to... I'm not going to do anything with Diadrene. And then we can do... I'm trying to figure out a way that we can power out a Glacier GODMAW next turn by doing a bunch of taps shenanigans. So I think I can just do Warp in the Night Luminary just to get some more power on board. And station. It's to 8. Station. Station. I don't think I'm blocking with the 2/2. I think I'm just okay taking 11 station. And now we can present a scenario next turn where we can possibly play the GODMAW and pop the lander and ruin their life, which would be awesome, admittedly, if you're me, not so much if you're the opponent. Now, we're putting ourselves pretty pretty shields down here. There's a lot of things they could have. A Wrath would be terrible. Like if they had, is it 0 point Ballad for 4, it just crushes us. So worth remembering the different things that could exist here, but I also don't think we were ever losing to, or we were ever beating a Wrath in that scenario. Okay, attack for 6, attack for 11. I think we just take all of this, right? Because we'll have 5 creatures. Okay, play a land. Nope, don't play a land, not yet. So we can, okay, how can we do this so that it's the best? We are dead. We are dead next turn if we leave nothing back. So we will have, everything gets +1/+1, and oh, it gains vigilance until end of turn. Oh yeah, sick. Okay, so we're just gonna do this. We're gonna add 5 green, 6, 7, Glacier Godmaw. This is awesome. This is so sick. Create a lander, play a forest, and then we can actually trigger this again with a lander token. We can pop a lander token here if we somehow don't have enough power here. Let's see, we have 9, 14, 18, 26 power on board right now. They have 4 toughness. I think they're just dead. Holy hell. Okay, well yeah, we'll just do it then. Might as well eat that also. Get another Glacier Godmaw trigger. And landfall, bump the team again. And we just did 19, we just did 28 damage out of nowhere? That was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. Okay, so maybe not so bad to take Evendo. Perhaps I was too hasty in my assessment, because that was sick. Yeah, also a great call, or a great reason to not pass that Glacier Godmaw. We really powered it out with kind of a crazy set of circumstances. However, that is the power of that effect, right? When you're going wider, those global +1/+1 effects matter more because you're getting more stats out of them. If you have a +1/+1 and you only have 2 creatures on board, you're only getting +2/+2 overall, so 2 power and 2 toughness worth of stats. If you have 7 creatures on board like we had, you're gaining 7 power and 7 toughness from an Anthem effect. So a good thing to note in a lot of scenarios. Also note that we could have really easily just traded off the. This is not a tremendous hand, but it is a fine hand. We could have traded off the. We love seeing this guy on too. Traded off our Galactic Wayfarer at any point, but it didn't really do anything for us to do that. All right, we're gonna get lightning. Oh, you know what? Actually, oh no, can't do that. Now they know we have Focus Fire, so that's bummer. But we don't have any. We don't have any creatures, so that's just popping it for 2. That's a nice draw. We'll play our forest. I think we would like to see lands here, so I'm gonna set up a turn where we can get the sweeper. I don't want the Tenderfoot at all. I don't think. I think it's just kind of a mopey creature. So we'll just get the Wormhole Sweeper out. And now what we can do is we can play the Night Luminary, and okay, so they're gonna warp in the Codecracker Hound and draw some cards. That's fine. I think what we can do is let's just be mana efficient here. Let's just play the Galactic Wayfarer, make a lander, and put 3 power into it. If we had warped in the Night Luminary, we could have immediately attacked with the sweeper, but pushing 2 damage here is not ultimately going to be the reason that we win this game. The reason we win this game is going to be because we go wide and leverage having our 2 Focus Fires to keep putting pressure on. Okay, well, that kind of stunk. What was that? It was Ruinous Rampage? Okay, I guess ultimately there was 3 mana to kill 2 things that we kind of already got our value out of, so not really a huge deal. So perhaps what we do here is, like Diadream, but we can kind of fit that into the mana curve wherever, and we don't really have any other ways to use it. So I'm sort of inclined to just get the warp value out of Night Luminary here, Let's see. Yeah, they have one island up. I don't know what there exists for one island. There's a null, but okay. So now we go Night Luminary, get a 1/1. It's too bad we don't have the sweeper still, and then Honor Knight Captain. Take it. And then next turn we have 4 mana to play another Night Luminary. Probably focus if they play something for. If they play something for 4 mana or 5 mana, we're very likely to be able to focus fire it. So that's kind of the power of this spell now that we get to be the aggressor. It would be nice if we could just, okay, well that sucks. I don't really care about a code cracker hound whatsoever, but at least it's going to be trading down most likely. We'll have already gotten our value out of the Knight Captain. We don't have any equipment, which kind of bummer. I don't really know how many good equipments are even in the set. But this trading with the token is just totally fine. We're never using a focus fire on that, is the point I'm trying to make. Okay, Defendo's nice, because we are very wide. And actually, perhaps we avoid Diadrene for a while to be able to take advantage of the fact that we can maybe Gaia's Cradle and get a huge Diadrene. Probably isn't going to be in time for that, but I think, okay, they have a priority stop for 2 mana. This could be the 2 mana card that we first picked, the red deal 3. If they're doing that, they're probably going to take out the Wayfarer. Nothing at all. Something at flash speed, perhaps. All right, and then we'll just play the Night Luminary. Could just be the counterspell, and in that case, they can have it. Okay, cool. Not the counterspell. And then we will just station our Night Luminary, because we're not blocking with that, but we'll happily block our 1/1 token on their Codecracker Hound. But they're under a lot of pressure right now. We're very wide. Most of our... Oh, Consult the Star Trek. Sure. I think this is a very good card. I mean, it's only 2 mana, draw 1, but they're drawing the best card out of the top 5 in their deck right now. So pretty good. They should be playing something impactful here. Now we have double Focus Fire to be able to punish them for whatever they do, but you know, we'll see. I don't know if there's this 6 mana Wrath in red, but I don't think the Wrath is very good. Now Scrapbot. Okay, another X1 is totally fine. Exile our Graveyard. Warmaker Gunship is not what we wanted to see, though. How do I keep running into this card? I just see it everywhere. But ultimately not a huge deal. We're still pushing a lot of pressure with our 1/1s. Are they gonna try and station this up? Feels... I mean, I guess I probably wouldn't block in their scenario, so maybe it is best. Yeah. Okay. So we're just going to... We're not going to block with the Night Luminary, because that is too valuable to us. We're just going to send in all the ones. And if they block with this Dauntless Scrapbot, then yeah, it's going to happen. Now here, we have an interesting spot where we can just jam out a Diadrene for X equal for, let's see, a 5/6. It's pretty good. I don't know how they beat that necessarily. I don't feel the need to Focus Fire anything. If they want to swing out with their Gunship, I say let them. We're way ahead right now. So let's just say X equals, what is that? X equals 3? Yeah, X equals 3. Make a 5/6, and then I'm not blocking with either of these. Man, this Glacier Godmaw might just come into clutch. If we draw another land, we're going to be able to do the same thing. Put 1 power into a Vendo and go to the races with the Godmaw. This is kind of a sweet combo, honestly. Yeah, I mean, this is sweet. Also, the art on this, I've loved the art this set. I feel like they had real potential to go into kind of OTJ MKM world where they just throw a hat on everything and say, haha, look how funny and quaint we are. Okay, are we gonna do the thing? It's a lot of open mana. What do they have here to crush us? What can they have? Is it just a counter spell? Okay, I think I'm gonna do 2 things. Number 1, I'm going to hold back one of my X1s to be able to finish stationing this, but I think I'm actually just going to pass. I don't want to run this out into a we're too far ahead to lose out on that much mana when we have this much pressure on board. Yeah, we'll happily put that on top. No problem. We're about to have a fully stationed Evendo, sir. Or ma'am. We'll just swing with all of our X1s again. And in this case, actually, I maybe made a mistake there in not leaving one X1 back. Oh, we're gonna really thrash them here, aren't we? Because they're gonna try to block, and we simply are not okay with that. Okay, so we're for sure gonna hit this. And I think we are actually okay trading both of these. I am much more concerned about the last card in their hand and being able to deal with that with Focus Fire, especially if it's going to be, like, we're going to get GODMAW, possibly GODMAW on line next turn. We're going to keep the land in hand. I'm going to station with the Luminary. And then next turn, let's see, 3 mana from this. Okay, 3 mana for this. We're not going to draw a land next turn either, so I think we just leave it at this. So we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we have enough. Okay. Yep, okay, and they're just dead. They are just dead. A bazillion ways. This is a very legitimate combo, I think. Going wide enough to get this Evendo working is. Let's see, do I not have enough mana? 3. Oh, I don't. Oh, that's truly tragic. Truly, truly tragic. Okay, well, what do we do instead then? Miscounted. That's tragic. On my own television show. So we can get 3 mana from the... Oh, it's because I have to tap 2 lands for it, so we only have 6 mana. So I think we just do this, right? For... Hey, we tap this for 3. Cast this X equals 4. Just be patient. Make a 6/7, and I don't know, perhaps this. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth. I think we try to maintain our board state right now. Although maybe it would have been worth holding up the Focus Fire. They've got good blockers for us right now. Cryogen Relic doesn't matter. I mean, it matters a little bit, but they get to draw a card. The sack ability doesn't matter. What are they gonna have here? If they get rid of... Okay, Mechanizoa is fine, because that's not what's gonna kill us. And then for 2 mana, all they have is... I'm betting they have Cryogen Relic and Lander Token. If they have another spell, it would be brutal. But none of our stuff got removed, so we're going to be able to Evendo for a bunch of mana. They're gonna. I think attacking here is not unreasonable for them, given what they just did. If this is a counter spell, they're going to ruin our life, but I don't know if we can play around that either. We're going to play that and pray to Nicol Bolas. Who's the god? I don't know. Make a lander, and then we give him the bad news that we've got it. And then they all get trample, so we shouldn't do anything. We should. Yeah, good game. They're gonna try and BM me here. They're not gonna. Oh, just vigilance and haste. We're not going to remove any of our counters that we don't have, but I guess we could have done honor if we wanted to. They, yeah, okay. Are they gonna do anything? No, nothing. Okay, we've got them pretty dead, I think. So, cool. GG. Another cool Evendo plus GODMAW win. This is a sweet combo. So up to gold 2. Maybe we'll climb our way into platinum this video if we can get another trophy. That would be pretty radical. But yeah, I like where this deck is playing. We've been drawing relatively fortunately in that we've seen our planet, we've seen our the frigate, a lot of our uncommon 2-drops. We're not seeing as many of the Mopey stuff, but here we go. Another Evendo on 2 and another GODMAW on hand. This is why you do it. On the draw again. The only time we've been on the play is when we had to mulligan twice and miss our first, or not draw land for 4 turns. But who's counting that? Okay, land draw is nice because now we'll be able to cast Lux Knight Breacher for at least as a 4/4, assuming our stuff lives. This creature down, although it's going to be very tempting not to just block that and give them a lander in exchange for a 1/1. Let's station with that and show them that we are more than happy to trade, and then maybe it'll actually dissuade them from even trading anyway. I don't necessarily need to give them a lander. Yeah, okay, cool. So here, I think we just keep on playing. The Honor Knight Captain is actually an awesome draw here, because now we can keep going wider, and I will just station. I wish you could station like you can crew, which is where you can station like a bunch of them at a time. Unfortunately, like the mechanics of it don't work very well for that. I guess I can attack. No, I don't really wanna. It's better for me to be able to have my Lux Knight Breacher come in bigger, and I don't want to give them it looks like they didn't have anything to do, and so I don't want to give them things to do by giving them a lander that they can sack to ramp. So I think I'm happier to just play the Lux Knight Breacher and turbo the Evendo again, because now if we draw a couple lands, we have Greenhouse, we have so much gas in hand if we just draw a land or 2. Stormcolor is a good card, but it's not going to do it here, I don't think. At least not yet. So we'll go land, and then Lux Knight Breacher to make a 6/6. And then we'll station it here, and here, and here. And we don't need to station anymore, and we'll keep our 2 back, and we'll say go. And next turn, if we draw a land, we are gonna smash again. Now, if we draw a land, it's probably better to go the Greenhouse first, maybe even the auxiliary boosters. Ooh, we love to see that. I would love to see this into a meaningless sorcery. That would be and then draw a land. Just a meaningless card that doesn't impact the board state whatsoever. Let me try. How much power would we then have? We'd have 2, 4, 6, 8, 15. We have 22 power on board. If they tap out and don't play anything impactful. No! The Vanishing Light! Tragic. Okay. Well, that's okay, I suppose. Alright. No fun for us. Okay, we did not get what we wanted, unfortunately. Oh, we do actually have a good artifact. We do have a good equipment. Yeah, I'm sorry if you were screaming at your computer about the fact that I do have a good artifact for this. I do have 5 mana. I have a lot more than 5 mana, actually. Perhaps what I do here is do this and this, and cast this for x equals 3. And then I will... This is another instance where it'd be nice to have the... I think now we start attacking. Although, we're at 5, yeah. I think now we start attacking. And we're kind of okay to trade. Because now if we can start pressuring their life total a little bit before they get their Night Luminary on board, perhaps we can... and now, second artifact. Yep, good card. I like this card, Storm Color. Really, actually, I like it so much, I'm going to kill it. In theory. There we go, nice. Use our mana up. Now, likely, oh, sure, I'll draw 2 cards. Thanks, homie. Okay, well now we've got just a lot we can do. I think what we go here is start with a forest. And we will do... Is there any way to do this so I can do both of these things? I don't think so. I think I'll just play out this auxiliary boosters right now. Is it better for the frigate? I can start pushing more damage too, but the more creatures I trade off, the worse my GODMAW gets. I think I do this though. That's not very mana efficient what I just did. You know what? You shouldn't listen to what I just did. I think that was a poor play. I had the opportunity to play a 5-drop, and I instead played a 2-drop. And ultimately, that is often not a worthy exchange. It worked out for me okay here. I will end up having just enough mana to do the Glacier GODMAW thing if I want to. But ultimately, that is not a good enough reason to play mana inefficiently. Actually, I can't even do that. So, do as I say, not as I do, and don't do that. So I'll play a forest. We'll play a auxiliary boosters. And do I want to let them draw a card? They are getting low on cards. So I think what I will do is I will just station these down. If they swing with I think I want to encourage them to swing with the Faller's Faithful, to be honest. Because I don't care about them. I'm at 18. My life total is very healthy. We would be very happy if they just played out the Night Luminary. Seeing a land drop there is excellent. And seeing them equipped for 4 is also excellent. So now, let's see, how much power we have? 3, 6, 9. 3, 6, 9. 5 is 14. Well, 14 power. Oh, and we're going to be able to double trigger it if we want. This is delicious. Make a lander. Go there. Can we get this? I don't think it's worth tapping down power here. Oh, we can get it after because they've got vigilance. And now we swing. I don't know how much power we have. You can count. 13 plus 9 is 21. They have, okay, I think this is Xaxes. If we do nothing and they have nothing. Have to block here. But you have to block. I guess that is trample, or this is trample. So you have to block 5 power, or 5 toughness rather. And then what do they have? Do they have something? No. Is this? I think this is, let's see, this is 8 plus 6 is 14. Yeah, I think we just do it. Pop this. Get a trigger. Are you gonna kill it? Yeah, okay. Nope, they're off it. Sweet. I'd be a little worried there that they were holding up like a removal spell forgot. But if that were the case, they should have done it before. Well, I guess it didn't really matter. I could have always done it. Yeah, I had fun. I just got to do the Evendo plus GODMAW thing for a 3rd time. Of course I had fun. What are you talking about? Alright, so we are 4-1 now? 4-1? 4-1. Hell yeah. Keep at it. Be cool to trophy again. I think this is a deck that could trophy. It didn't quite get there, I think, on the +1/+1 counter stuff. So the Diadrine is mostly just a vanilla creature with a little bit of upside, but I think we are okay with that. The nice thing about that card in a limited fashion is this is still it is still just a well-statted creature. It will always have 1 more toughness, than the amount of mana that you spend for it. On the draw, I think this is just always a keep, unfortunately. It's not amazing because we really need green. I think we can cycle this, but to be honest, I'm not 100%, and we don't even need to, so I'm not going to. And we can't because I have to target a creature, so never mind. Timeline color, don't care about that at all. Yeah, we are so good at matching, it's unbelievable. Alright, we'll just do the Diadrain here for X equals, oh wait, no, for X equals 0. It helps having 2 of these in the deck, so if I really felt like I wanted this effect, I could hold off if I wanted to, but I think the ability to be mana efficient here is just too much to pass up. You can use a removal spell on it. Probably should, if you have one. Not your dad or anything, but if you got one, you're considering it, it's probably right. But the nice thing is we're about to play a couple cards that block the timeline color extremely well. Yeah, okay. So we're just going to get the board all gummed up, and we are totally fine with that. Because if we're not able to get ahead this way, oh nice, we're drawing really well right now. All of these, we've just drawn lands when we needed them into spells when we needed them. So nothing wrong with that. And we'll just pass. Pass. This flight deck coordinator works really well with our frigate, our sweeper, and our planet, if we can draw any of those. Next turn, I think we'll be interested in, I don't think we want to block here. I think we're happy to keep our board a little wider. Oh, that's a good play. It's a really nice play. They basically removed Diadrain, which is a bummer. I think what we will do here is we'll get the drawing the other Diadrain is nice. I think we're gonna want to wait until this All Fate Stalker goes away because it's just such a good answer for Diadrain. So I think what I want to do instead is do here. And then Flight Deck Coordinator. Am I going to attack this turn? That is the question. If I'm going to attack, I should honor first. Doesn't really matter because they could just eat Diadrain. So am I okay trading for both of these? I think yes. So make this a 4/4. I don't love that. And then All Fate Stalker gets better. Okay, I don't think I would. So instead, I'm going to go here and then here. 1/1 counter on it. Okay, that's not amazing, but I probably should actually. In fact, I probably should have put the 1/1 counter on the Galactic Wayfarer because I think they are more likely to eat the thing that was bigger, not the thing that had the static ability. With their All Fate Stalker, but that's okay. They'll play this. They'll probably eat the Flight Deck Coordinator, which means we probably should have put it on either Diadrain or Galactic Wayfarer, because now they're going to get some attacks in as well. So a little bit of a whoopsie. Didn't really matter. Oh, got to put another. That's actually awesome. Dockworker Drone is a card that we would have really liked to have. This is a weird attack. I feel like I'll be playing into something, so I don't know if there's something that gives it indestructible and stats, so I think I'll just double block. And then I don't think there's a Death Touch trick. There might be an indestructible trick, but it's not going to take out both of the creatures. Okay, first strike. Sure. That's fine. Yeah, okay. That worked out totally fine for us. Mono Sentry, the 4/1. Really cool card design. Oh, so punished. We just got a Wormwall Sweeper. Well, now actually what we can do is we can go Wormwall Sweeper. Surveil 2. We don't want to land. We do want the boosters. And we can warp in the Night Luminary. And station. And now we have a Wormwall Sweeper. So that's kind of nice. I don't like this Dockworker Drone. It's going to be a real issue, and it's going to be able to start putting counters on stuff, but I'm hoping that we'll be able to get another Diadrain in after we see this All Fate Stalker come back down. I don't think they're going to want to play it until I play something a little bit more impactful, so I'm going to try and hold off kind of as long as possible. I'd also love to not play out the auxiliary booster. Perfect. Yeah, take out my Wayfarer. I'm more than happy for that. So now next turn, I think we go here. And then I think we just jump with Diadrine and then play out another one next turn. They do have 2 spells in hand, it seems. So maybe they can crush us if I play a Diadrine here. But I think if we just play a big creature, Plains is really good to see. I think if we just play a big creature, X equals 4, right? Yeah. They're going to have a hard time attacking into that without a removal spell. And they don't really have any good targets right now to put the Dockworker drone counters on. Like, they could put it on the Stalker, but ultimately I don't think they want to put their Stalker in the line of fire all that frequently. And this Squire's Lightblade only gives +1/+0. Maybe it's wrong to tell people not to put this card in their deck. Oh wow, that just ruined us. That's a truly horrible card to see. I didn't realize that said non-token. I was ready to not be worried about it at all. Okay, that sucked. It really sucked. Luckily, this Focus Fire can deal with a lot of troubling creatures they have. Right now it's X equals 4. I don't think I'm going to be able to get my Wayfarer back, but maybe I can hit something. But we're definitely way behind here. Definitely way behind. So we have some good draws, but... Oh, jeez. Wow, they're just slaughtering us right now. Yep, that's a good play. I'm going to swing out. That's nice for us at least, as I can still Focus Fire the All-Fate Stalker. We're still going to take some damage, make a thing. I think I just blocked the timeline color for the... Oh wait, that was a force block. I'm sorry, that was a pun. We were still in a pretty bad way there, but I needed to block that. So apologies for that. That was just a bad play. We're pretty far behind there anyway, so sometimes your opponents just have it. There might have been an argument to playing out the 3/2 make a 1/1 there instead of Diadrine, just because it did make us pretty vulnerable to removal. So we could have done that, pop a lander. I don't really know that it mattered. I think I like just making a big beater there and just hope they had the card that beat us, and that happens. If we did the same thing and they played out the exact same spacecraft as they did, we would still be sacking the 3/2 and not one of our tokens anyway, which is a pretty bad spot for us to be in also. So in some ways, there's really not a lot I think we could have done there. At least with that decision point, surely there were other places. Hey, we go first. Like that. This is nice because we've got Honor to be able to put a counter on a thing for when Diadrine comes a-knockin'. We'll go Honor Knight Captain. 2 1/1s. Nice. And I have to remember that I do have an equipment for this if that becomes relevant. Alright, I will go... What do I want to do here? Maybe I go Honor, put a counter on a thing, draw a card, warp in the Night Luminary. Does that feel good? I shouldn't have played a land out in case I pulled the Focus Fire is pretty decent. Warp that in. And then we're happy to attack here. Probably should have waited to do that until after we attacked. But we would have been happy trading there because we don't want them to get value off of those 1/1 counters going elsewhere. Comet Crawler. Alright, 2/3 lifelink. That kind of stops our game for a little bit, but luckily we do have a nice creature to be able to play as well. Do we go Diadrine? I think we go Diadrine here. And then draw... Oh, but we're not going to attack necessarily. Okay, is Night Luminary better? Night Luminary blocks this really well, whereas this also blocks really well, but it's a better card, so perhaps we just run out the Night Luminary and stay patient. Makes our Focus Fires better for next turn. just go crazy wide and play into the kind of world where I'm gonna sack it. Be kind of crazy. We'll trade. Fine with that. Yeah, sure. They should have done that before if they were gonna do that. Now we're gonna go here and here for, I think we leave up focus fire here for x equals 2. I don't think there's any reason not to leave up focus fire. So here, bummer, we have to remove a token from, or we have to remove a counter from an attacking thing, but upside, we got the power right back. Vanishing Light, what a joke. I keep saying I'm going to get rid of that card too, and I keep not doing it. Sure, let's see, do you want to do it? Kill it. And then do I care about them having a counter on that? I think I don't care. It's about taking 2 damage, and so just blasting in. So now we're gonna do this. It was an awesome draw, wasn't it? Spirit Greenhouse was a heck of a draw on that last one, and go to town. Feels good. Now this is 6+. This is 9 damage. Do I care about saving my honored knight captain, or do I care more about pushing? I think staying wide is good. It feels very bad though. I don't think that's right. We're still super wide. They still have a lot of threats they need to deal with. This alone is lethal next turn. Oof, okay, so they're flooded out. Alright, well. So probably would have been fine to kill the 1/1, but not so bad. Not so bad. 5 wins. 5 wins is good. I think 5 wins is, I don't know if this deck deserves 7 wins per se. It'd be nice to be able to play it up to that point. I think it feels like a 5 or 6 win deck. There's enough going on here with powerful cards and a good curve to be able to get away with it. Bummer that we can't keep doing the GODMAW thing. What's even the point if I'm not just slamming Leviathans down constantly with Gaia's Cradle? Oh, this is a hard one. I don't think this is a keep. We only have 1. We can't do anything unless we draw 2 lands. We have the combo, but we're going to have to do part of the combo on turn 2. So that's just a mulligan. Oh, nice. Not punished whatsoever. I think we're actually going to keep both of these back, because I don't really care. Hello, friend. I don't really care so much about getting the extra warp value here if I can save 4 mana worth of stuff later. Although I do need a white producing land at some point, which would be nice. Good card. I like this card a lot. Really did well for me in my pre-release, actually. So what we're going to do is, actually this Exosuit Savior could make for some very interesting play patterns with the All Fate Stalker as well. We can warp it in to get the warp value on our own stuff and then bring it back to possibly get more warp value. I'm going to just go Tenderfoot and here, because I would really like to do the thing that we talked about, literally pick 2 of this draft and re-trigger and save on some mana cost and cheat a bunch of power in. This is the card that we passed earlier where I said it was not good, and if they kill me with poison damage, I guess that'll be egg on my face, but I just don't really see that happening a whole heck of a lot. Oh, it is 2 though, so it's not nothing. This is an artifact. Yeah, it's like, it's gonna hit me with this a bunch though. Like, when is it? I don't know. Non-token artifacts too, so you can't even get like the 1/1 drone tokens in that archetype. Oh, this is lovely. Okay, so we're going to start by galactically wayfaring, I suppose. That blocks, seems fine. We will warp in our Night Luminary, make a 1/1, warp in our All Fate Stalker, and then when this goes back to the warp zone, boom, we just get a Light Luminary. Look at that, just saved 2 mana. Now, granted, we have to strand our 1 forest mana, so it would be nice if we had 3 planes, because then we could also hold a Focus Fire and do other crazy stuff, but, you know, no need to get greedy. I don't know if I'm blocking the Silencer yet. I don't think I'm nearly to that point yet. It's still just 3 damage. I will block the Comet Crawler if they give me the opportunity. If they don't, that's fine. They're going to do the same thing they did last time. And I will happily trade my 2/2 for your 2/3. They can, if they want to use removal on my Tenderfoot, I don't care. Yeah, okay, great. That's just perfectly fine. Okay, so now I am somewhat hesitant to, I want to save this for a little bit of a better spot here. So I think what we will do is just go to combat. And they're not really representing any, I think mono black. I think we'll just go, I want to use my mana properly though. And I don't necessarily care if they want to kill my All Fate Stalker to get this back. Honestly, they can. It clears up the board a little bit more. And I can leave open Focus Fire. So maybe it's an assassin? Wow. Crazy. Okay. I think that text was strictly put there to make the All Fate Stalker. Do I want to... Oh, wait, no, I don't want to do that. Yeah, sorry, that's just a punt. Wow. Non-assassin, but this is a robot assassin. That is crazy. Okay, I played a 4-mana 2/3 now. That's a bummer. But nice thing is, what we're going to get to do instead is I will just... I think they might be mana screwed here. They look like they might be missing some colors, so I'll just attack. Yeah, I think they're missing something. What I will do instead is Exosuit Savior to get my All Fate Stalker back. And then I'll just hold a Focus Fire. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. I could have warped it in. Yeah, okay, they're missing something. I could have maybe warped it in later to bounce the Galactic Wayfarer, but yeah, that's just an all-timer. It's just an all-timer bad play. I guess maybe not, like, it's not that bad that I didn't see that the card I was shit talking was a silence, or was an assassin, but it's pretty funny. All right, 6 wins. This is for the trophy, so that's radical. Let's hope we can be on the play and get this. This is also for platinum, I think. So there's a lot riding on this game here. We've got the chance to trophy with our second deck on our second video. We've got the chance to make it to the real world and play in platinum again. So there's a lot going on here. We've got is that a platinum opponent or a silver opponent? I can never tell with the icons on those. They go first, but this is an okay hand. We've got, I mean, it's not good. It's not a great hand, but it is a fine hand. We've got, we can go Night Luminary on 2, Flight Deck Coordinator on 3. And we do have the synergy with the Wormwall Sweeper. And it is worth noting also that, okay, I'm actually going to play the Wormwall Sweeper first. We're looking for white mana here. I would prefer to draw you first. Do I want 2 1/1s? I don't think I want this right now. I think I have better things to do. But we will take the planes. This will be a good opportunity to play the Flight Deck Coordinator, sure. Or we could just fully crew up the Sweeper. Feels okay too. I think maybe what we do is we try to we get some damage in, we hold up focus fire, and then we can pop it on the flight deck coordinator. But this way we can take advantage of the 3 extra power in play earlier and get poking at him for 2 in the air. Be nice to have the flight deck coordinator on to be able to do that, but this will be available at literally any time. We can basically always gain this 2 life if we want to. First of all, the sweeper is going to be able to profitably attack a lot, and then we can just throw a 1/1 to tap it if we're not going to be blocking with it, just to gain 2 life. So we'll take that. And we've got a good hand right now. Nutrient Block is, I think, a good card. I will say. I think we're happy Focus Fire here, and if they want to save it, they can save it. Nice. Okay, cool. We'll take that. And now, what do they play? Something crazy? Oh, okay, sure. That's funny. That totally works. I think I'm okay with them doing that. So here, I think I want to get more out of Lux Knight Breacher. I really want to be mana efficient ultimately. And perhaps what I could do is play the Night Luminary and just swing for another 2 in the air, because I don't really need to get this going per se. I'm not really in any danger, so perhaps I just play the Luminary. I can start going wider for this Breacher as well, and attack for 2 and keep going. They've only got 3 cards in hand too. Like if you look at our hand is completely stacked right now, and they're playing 2/2 menaces. Okay, they can trigger it with they can trigger Void though by sacking the Nutrient Blocks. That's kind of cool. They should probably wait until after combat on the off chance that or they could just swing at something. Yeah, that also works. But if they wanted to, now they can trigger Void a couple times, which I think is worth doing in their position. Okay, so now we have some mana that we can play with. Got another Forest. I think we go, if we want to be most mana efficient, we go Night Luminary. We're looking like we're going to start to overwhelm them with card advantage here. Just because they've only got the 1 card in hand. They've got a Nutrient Block, so they'll be able to trigger this for sure 1 more time. We're going to want to be very wary about triggering their Void on a turn where they haven't done it yet. We want to force them to work for it a little bit. It's really a bummer that they got rid of the Sweeper, though. That would have been really nice here. And we'll just say pass. So we're kind of at a board stall, but you know, we have the tools in our deck to deal with board stalls very well. If they pop this Nutrient Block, then everybody's got this Vanishing Light, and I just will not remember to put in that thing, or to board in that card. All right, let's see, is this Void triggered already? Non-land permanent did leave the battlefield. I think we want to get. No, I don't think I care. I think we just take 7 here and then make a big Lux Knight Breacher. Blocks. Or perhaps I just Radiant Strike there, Scare Maw. Gain 2 life. Okay, that is fine. Okay, so this is kind of an interesting spot. This is currently a 6/6, which blocks extremely well, but it leaves me very open to removal, and they'll get to keep banging in with their Scare Maw. I think what I would rather do is stop taking damage from this and stabilize. I don't actually know if I need to play out the land at this point either. Destroy that. Okay, that's nice. And then I don't care about taking 4 to 12, so I think I just swing in here. I think they're going to pop the Nutrient Block. They should maybe, I guess they need cards. Focus Fire, perfect. Okay, so we saw what the last card in hand is. Focus Fire, that could have gotten us in big trouble later, so I'm more than happy to see that. This is still going to be a 5/5 as we cast it, but perhaps we Night Luminary. It looks like they drew a land if they're trying to sack the Nutrient Block. That's an awesome sign for us. I think mean it's bad that they're drawing cards, of course, but you know, there are worse things. Exosuit Savior, what do they want to save? Okay, nice, and they are juiced out. Okay, so that 2/2 flyer will start to hurt pretty soon. But I think we can mitigate that somewhat by pressuring their life total a bit. What's the best way to do that? Left Blade Enhancer is a good draw. I think I just cast it. How much mana do we have? 6 mana. I just cast it. Put here and here. And then we start hitting in. Because this guy is going to get stuck back. They have us on a 6-turn clock, but fortunately for us, I think we're going to be able to pressure them faster than that. Okay, nice. Is this a spell? Okay, don't care about that whatsoever. Alright. Here, we can go... Do we want to get... How greedy do we want to get here? I think maybe we just do this again. We have time. And we pass. That 2/2 is going to kill us soon, so we have to be a little bit wary of that, but... And they cannot stop ripping gas. That is fabulous. A fabulous, fabulous, fabulous draw, though. So now at least we can start to stop. Actually, what we can do here is we can play... Get back the Enhancer. And warp it back in to get counters here and here. So this now trades with the Flight Deck Coordinator. And we still can't attack, but now we have a good block on this Exosuit Savior, and eventually a makeable block here. They will start drawing lands at some point. It looks like they may have just done that. And we are just blocking here 100% of the time, I think. I mean, they're going to get to start drawing cards again, but we can't really get past that. Okay, what do they have? Oh my gosh, Rescue Skiff is a really good draw for them. It's an insanely good draw. All right, we need some bangers here. We need some bangers here. Okay. This Luxnight Breacher keeps being very awkward. It's just enough mana to where I don't really want to play it. I will play out a Plains. I think we just keep doing this thing. And we go 1 here, just so they can't keep attacking into us. Can we attack? No. We could maybe attack with the Night Luminary, I guess. Am I okay trading the Night Luminary for the GODMAW? Yes, I am okay with that. The Breacher is going to be sufficiently big anyway, and we have a good blocker behind. This is a 5/6 with 10 power also. And then they have 11 power, so if we can encourage them to get things off the battlefield, that is perfectly good for me. Rescue Skiff is going to be a problem. It's going to be a big problem. That's good. Okay. GODMAW would be a god tier draw. And what a way to end it, really. Oh my gosh, will you draw 1 land, please? Please draw 1 land. I beg you to draw a land. Ever. Okay, so now they can warp in the color. They can crew up the Rescue Skiff. Yeah, we're in trouble. We're for sure in trouble here. But I don't know that there's a lot we can do about it, unfortunately. So in this scenario, we need to be thinking about where our outs are, right? Our outs are removal for the Rescue Skiff. Okay, that's fine. and we're just ripping every land out of our deck. Okay, so we'll go here. Am I okay trading the Weftblade Enhancer for either of these cards? The answer is yes, I am. So I will start by doing this. Lux Knight Breacher, make an 8/8 in case they trade this off. We have to keep pressuring their life total. Okay. Because they don't have us dead, I don't believe. This is, yeah, they don't quite have us dead. So, what is this? 7 mana. So we play a Plains. Put us to 8. So now if we draw the GODMAW, we can slam it and activate for the win. Gosh. Okay. How many lands have we seen? We have 21 cards in deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we still have 8 lands in here. So 8 by 21. Got my calculator up here. Maybe I could do this in my head. Got a 62% chance to draw a spell. It's not bad. I don't hate those odds. Most of our stuff is low impact, but I mean, even an Honored Knight Captain would be good here because we have enough mana to get it pop it for an auxiliary booster. Is that what it's called? Can't remember. All right, they are going to station it up, and they're going to drop the hammer. We say no blocks. We play our outs here on this channel. Honor is a fine draw. We will start by putting that here. Oh, Christ. Okay. Go here and here and pray that they trade off one of their flyers. They definitely won't. We're just going to lose. Please. 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 Brutal. Brutal. Alright, well, now we hold up mana, and we hope that they don't see the line. No, they do. Alright, good game. You get rid of any of these. Oh, that's so sad. It's so sad. Alright, 6 wins. We don't make it there. Still a cool deck. I think still kind of did the thing. We maybe got carried a little bit early in the run by drawing our best cards. We were definitely missing some evasion, some trample, a little bit of removal that definitely hurt us in the end. Where if we look at what we could have boarded in, I think it was pretty clear that we needed a better answer for flyers or enchantments, and we just kept. I never remembered to put it back in. You hate to go too hindsight with it. I think this would have been good, but there are certainly some times where this would have been dead in our hand. So it is kind of a catch-22, but we maybe could have ditched surely something, maybe the Tenderfoot. We could have ditched for Shattered Wings and been perfectly fine. But overall, I think the deck played pretty cool. The Evendo, even though it was an accident, I don't even remember what the card was supposed to be, but this ended up being an awesome combo with how wide and kind of anthemed we could get our creatures to be able to pump a little bit of power in at a time to be able to play towards a GODMAW finish. That was pretty cool. Greenhouse came down and was big in the time that it did. The All-Faith Stalker and Night Luminary I think is a cool combo, a good thing to keep in mind. But it's good to remember too that this works with a bunch of your cards too, not just shaving off the warp cost, which is I think at its most powerful what it can do, but also just re-triggering ETBs like with the Galactic Wayfarer or the Honored Knight Captain or anything like that. Even, let's see, can it do, yeah, just non-assassin creatures. So lots of stuff you can do. Yeah, overall I think a cool deck. Definitely lacking in some areas, but ultimately one that we could still get to 6 wins. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. I'll see you next time for hopefully another cool deck on the Edge of Eternities. Peace.